गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड। आप सभी का स्वागत है आपकी इस चैनल पे। और आज 2nd of January है एंड आई होप यू ऑल विल एंजॉय योर 1st of Jan एंड दिस विल मेक सेंस, दिस ईयर मेक सेंस इन योर लाइफ एंड आगे आप बेहतर करें। आज का डिस्कशन स्टार्टिंग करने के पहले आज वर्ड ऑफ द डे को हम डिस्कस करेंगे। द वर्ड ऑफ द डे आज टर्नआउट है। टर्नआउट मीन्स total result. It means result. Turnout means result. Okay. So sorry for troubling you that there is some some technological problem I faced earlier. So the video going to be cut down and I re-upload this video. So behind this all, let's we start today's session. And today's session going to be a wonderful and article is about the election commission new remote voting mechanism and how it will work, what is the pros and cons, and what can the government take steps toward the achieving this goal, and how the our vibrant democracy where every disenfranchisement put their vote to the end of the EVM machine. So, what can be our operationalize and mechanism system uh, toward that, so we can achieve our goal to turn out up to 90%, as we seen in the many developed country. The voting turnout in any parliamentary constituency is going to be around 90%, like Switzerland and many European countries and many developed countries. So behind this, let me start our today discussion. Only almost 2 minutes are going to be. So let me start. So what is this article is all about? The article is all about the migration-based voting system. As we know, in the today migration-based disenfranchisement is indeed not a better solution in the technological advancement era. We have a wonderful technology through we can engage in any activity up to the Mars, up to the rover, through the and artificial intelligence to the machine learning. But why we not outreached, far reached to our migrants or NRI or a person who working outside their landscape? There is some problem, some hurdle we discuss further. But before that, we want to say something about the introduction of that scenario. Okay, the introduction. India is a country which produced the highest migrants in the world. Almost 20 crore migrants in India. Those are mobilized in India for working, for reviving their livelihood, for their ease of business doing. And for that, for those who are working as a migrant, they have at least two rights, uh, whatever, wherever they work, whatever they work. After that, they have at least two rights decides with them. Those rights are political rights and economical rights. Economical rights, the government, the respective government decided to how sustain the economical rights. It's dependently on the that particular state government where they resided. And many schemes, programs which can directly help to those migrants. But in the some case, due to our lack of transparency, accountability, lack of our grassroots level uh, focusing on the scheme, those migrants are go behind the situation where they can uh, mm, benefiting the valuable program benefit of the government. But what about the political right? It mean political rights mean every migrants at least have a right to disfranchise. They have to right to participate in voting. India is a robust democracy, world biggest democracy, where we say and we proudly say that we have a wonderful country where diversity is exist. Even we have a wonderful religious spectrum. But what about when we say the uh, more than 30% voter who are more than 20% voter are no more than 30% voter are not able to decide their vote in any parliamentary or state legislative assembly elections. These are the concerns. Okay, so let me discuss what can we do. I mean, what can our institutions do for the sake of revival of that. So solution is something like there is a remote voting machine, it mean mechanism under migrants put their vote to the end of the electronic voting machine, and these proposals are introduced by election commission of India uh, on the 17th of December, where all regional parties and national parties come together to discuss the whole spectrum and um, consideration going behind. Okay, and what will happening in future we discussed about. Okay, and after that there is some one or two outcomes come after that discussion, and these are fruitful. First, this is a very wonderful that one electronic voting machine for 72 constituencies, it means legislative assembly constituencies, can fill up with one electronic voting machines on that migrants migrants place where they resided. It means for this for let's we take as an example, if Bihari migrants going to Gujarat and they resided there in Ahmedabad, and so if uh, in Ahmedabad there is one EVM who where all those migrants put down their vote for 72 constituency of Bihar. It means a wonderful less EVM. I'm going to be more turnout, and this is the one solution. Second solution is uh, for that connection with local authorities with those migrants for the verification. It means of, of which particular respective constituencies of that migrants are belonging to. It is important because how can we evaluate the migrants are resided from which constituencies? It's been a dilemma. And uh, another thing is wonderful, and it mean we can use email based technique along with that. It mean a uh, verification process, and what will be the ramification of that verification, it will uh, not be discussed thoroughly in that article. So let me discuss this in a further article, any article when published. But what problem lies ahead in this process? Yeah, wonderful problem. First problem is why this is not for NRI. Okay, there is already a voting pattern for NRI, but those who are the elite, those who are working as a Indian foreign officials, those who are an extreme level persons. But what about those who are an under below the par? This is the spectrum. And another problem is proxy voting. Proxy, I hope you all know, you use in your school day, that proxy voting is an important issue when migrant voting pattern under the remote voting mechanism can increase. And for those, government must be, it mean election commission must be a step into it. Another fact is biggest blunder problem, correlation of citizen, it means migrant citizen, to the territorialities. It means respective state government, a election commission to the our apex election commissioner to the state election commission. Both are the same, but they have a must be correlation and work accordingly. All authorities working well, so there is no any chances of the impartial partiality going to be, huh? And biggest problem is that it mean like this political science. There, what is the definition of migrant? Listen to me carefully. What is the definition of migrant? Actually, there is a 3 point we can discuss. First, a migrant who going to Gujarat from Bihar in 2010 and they resided from last 10 years. Is they a permanent citizen of Bihar or is they permanent citizen of Gujarat now? This is the problem. Are they voting in both state assembly election? Okay. Second problem is what? Second problem is how can evaluate as a migrant when we can say that the a man who goes to any other state for their livelihood just for 5 months before and can be considered there as a migrant? No or yes? This is the very big dilemma. And many person who go any other state for their education, for their internship, for their for their medicalizations, what can be considered those as a migrant? It is a concern, prior concern. And another thing is early replaced migrant. It's a very big problem. And what can be the at least situation to hold out a rouse, and this will be come fruitful after the election commission gets a wonderful step toward that. So at the end of the day, can we say that idea of remote voting mechanism is fruitful, but can be considering that the ramification of the malpractices going to be harnessing our robust democracy fundamentalism. So it will be the little concern viewpoint. And what is the landscape? It is wonderful that in the age of digitalization and high mobility, uh, this type of things must be exist in any big democracy. But there is some pros and cons, so we have to evaluate these all things. And we have to still waiting for highest turnout, but this will only happen with the safeguarding of from election commission of India. So thank you to joining me. As this is the today discussion, hope you all go enjoying the session well. We meet tomorrow at 9 a.m. again. So thank you guys, and hope you all are enjoying well. Love you. Goodbye. Jai Hind.